You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
It's Monday, May 18. I'd like to share some thoughts about Industry Daily. Imagine an industrial landscape producing the world's most advanced AI infrastructure, hitting like 760% profit surges, while the people living right outside those headquarters are driving decade-old cars.
Right, because they are completely priced out of the market. That's the really striking duality we're exploring in today's deep dive. You have Korea's massive industrial giants, the cable, aggressively leveraging AI while simultaneously facing this completely stagnant consumer market at home.
Exactly. So for you listening, let's start with LG Electronics. Because of how these massive family-controlled conglomerates are structured, LG has this sprawling global supply chain. And, they're partnering with NVIDIA to just completely digitize it.
Yeah, they're converting all 29 of their global factories across 14 countries into AI smart factories by 2030. And they are doing this using NVIDIA's Omniverse platform to build digital twins.
Digital twins. So it's basically like playing a simulation game of a global supply chain.
Pretty much, yeah. But the crucial part here is the data. They have ingested about 770 terabytes of accumulated manufacturing data. So the AI can actually predict a machine failure or a supply bottleneck before the human managers even realize there's an issue.
Oh, wow. So simulating tariff shifts or factory downtime in real time gives them a tangible edge before any physical production even has to move.
Right, and here's the real strategic pivot. LG realized that by solving their own supply chain resilience, they created a highly valuable product. They are shifting from just making appliances to actually selling this manufacturing infrastructure.
Wait, selling it to other companies?
Exactly. Their new smart factory unit already has a backlog of 500 billion won, which is about 357 million USD, and they're targeting 1 trillion won, or 714 million USD by 2030.
That is a massive pivot to AI infrastructure. But, to survive these global headwinds, you also need to completely rewire the corporate balance sheet, which brings us to another K-ball, SK Group.
Right. SK Group's Q1 operating profit hit 3.67 trillion won, which is around 2.6 billion USD. That is a 760% surge.
A 760% jump. That's huge.
Yeah, and it was driven by 36.75 trillion won, or 26.3 billion USD in revenue. Plus, their debt-to-equity ratio dropped down to 135.7%.
But I want to push back a bit on how they got there. The SK Supex Council, which manages their network of affiliates, dumped 68 companies in just 2 years. They went from 219 affiliates down to 151.
It is a really aggressive reduction.
Right. I mean, they sold massive stakes, including SK Specialty for 2.63 trillion won, about 1.88 billion USD, and SK Biopharmaceuticals for 1.25 trillion won, or 893 million USD. That sounds chaotic, like a desperate fire sale.
Well, I mean, it looks chaotic from the outside, sure.
Right.
But structurally, this is a very deliberate vertical integration. SK Hynix is their primary profit engine right now, absolutely dominating the global AI memory chip market.
So shedding those non-core assets was about funneling capital directly into the AI supply chain.
Precisely. They rapidly fortified the balance sheet to support SK Hynix. It's just capital reallocation at its most aggressive.
So on one hand, SK and LG both perfectly illustrate how corporate Korea is booming through AI and exports. But if you look at the actual cars on Korean streets, it reveals a starkly different domestic reality. It's physical evidence of a K-shaped economy.
Yeah, the domestic structural demand weakness is undeniable here. Over 38% of registered cars, which is 10.22 million vehicles, are now over 10 years old.
Over 10 years old. And new registrations plummeted to just 1.65 million in 2024. Given that Hyundai Motor Group basically dominates domestic sales, this reliance on exports is clearer than ever.
It really is. Average new car prices have surged to 50.5 million won, or about 36,100 USD, and installment loan rates are sitting between 5 and 9% right now.
So I have to ask you, is this purely a symptom of consumer financial stress, or are cars just built with better durability today?
Well, it's definitely a combination of both. I mean, vehicles easily exceed 200,000 kilometers now without major issues, but the compressed consumer purchasing power is structural. When money is tight, a discretionary purchase like a new car gets pushed way down the priority list.
Right, people just hold on to what they have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That said, this aging fleet also creates a cyclical tailwind. Eventually, a massive replacement wave has to happen.
Which leaves you with a critical structural question to mull over. If Korean industrial giants successfully adapt to global pressures through AI and ruthless restructuring, what happens to domestic stability if local consumer demand remains permanently stagnant?
It really is the defining question for the economy right now.
That's today's AI PRISM Industry Daily. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a Won Ifer award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.